Hi guys, this is my second video. Obviously my first video, I broke the news of like moving back to Germany after having lived in England for 9 years, coming up to 10 years. This video, I was hoping to kind of talk a bit more about being in a quarter-life crisis or like late 20s crisis, and also how like my health priorities or just like life priorities have changed since when I moved here to now. The main question of this video is moving back to my childhood bedroom and like living with my parents. Is that really a step backwards, or can it kind of be seen as more of a strategic reset? Because I think a lot of people come up to their like late 20s, 30s, and I think especially now, because we are in a bit of a financial crisis, not just individuals but like countries in general, when salaries haven't caught up, having a degree isn't really worth as much as it used to be. My parents, where they were coming up to like 30, owning a house already, having a child or maybe a second or third child on the way, being married, what used to be seen as normal, and if you don't follow that then you're seen as you're kind of failing. I feel like we still have that pressure on us. I can certainly feel a bit of pressure of like looking at other people that are like age or like a bit older and already owning a house or being married, and then you sit back and you think, am I failing because I haven't achieved that? Am I like failing because I'm still renting? I mean, this whole renting thing is a whole story in itself, I think, because I grew up in Germany, and I mean, if there's other people that live in Germany or familiar with this, but I feel like in Germany it's not really frowned upon as much to be renting like as it is in England. I feel like in England there's this whole thing of if you're renting, you are throwing money down the drain or just paying your landlord holidays or like fancy shoes and stuff like that, which to some extent is true, but I think because in Germany a lot of properties are owned, and now I might be wrong here and people who maybe know a bit more about this can correct me, but I think it's like state owned, like partly state owned. The risk of like being kicked out is not as high. The rent is not as expensive as it is over here, and the prices don't increase as frequently as they do. This is not for all properties, but a lot of the properties are like that, and I know that like some of my family live in a flat where they've lived literally for the past 20-30 years and the rent has like barely gone up. I feel like my view on renting is very different to what I hear other people in England say. Whenever I tell people that I don't really have a desire to buy a house, or it's not really my priority anyway, they always like look at me a bit confused. Why would you not want to own your own house and be able to like do whatever you want and wait for everything to be done, or even worse, like always being under risk of being kicked out? They don't seem to really understand where I come from when I say that I don't really have a desire to own a property. And I think because I'm not hitting the milestones that you would someone else being 27 expect to be doing, it's easy to think, should I be doing something else? What am I missing? Especially because I am planning to move back to Germany and will be living with my parents. It's literally like going 10 steps back, 10 steps away from what everyone else is doing, or like what you feel like society is expecting you to do. Sort of the life that I want to be living. To other people think it will feel like I'm going back in my life goals, whereas for me it feels like a strategic like reset, and it feels like something that almost needs to happen for me to be able to move forward. I am going back and I am potentially going to live with my parents, but also at the same time I'm going to be feeling more at peace with myself because I will be around my family. I will be able to spend more time with them, so I feel like I will just feel that sense of belonging that I feel like I have been missing for quite some time now. I will be able to save up more money and I will be able to focus on my future in that sense. While I am moving away from like the life that I have lived here, I'm still gonna move forward in other senses. I was 18, like when I moved here I had completely different priorities, like freedom, independence, getting away from everything and everyone. Maybe a bit of partying, socialising, not maybe 100%, a bit of partying, socialising, rediscovering yourself. I think a lot of people will probably relate to this. When you're 18, you think you've got everything figured out, and you think you know what you're doing, everything you do is right, and nobody can tell you any different. That's how I felt at the time, and that's why I moved to England. All the steps that I've taken have weirdly just taken me back to, I want to go back to Germany now. It feels interesting to think about that. I was 18 and I thought I knew it all and I just wanted to escape, and now 10 years down the line roughly. I'm grown up, I'm an adult, and all I want is just to get back. And I guess also my priorities now are my health and like having a good routine going. I go to the gym like quite regularly, and I do like being healthy, and like I'm also vegan. I like fueling my body properly, achieving things in the gym. Like it feels good to go and be better than you were like a month ago, for example. Definitely a big part of me, and it's a big part of like the way I live my life, who I am. But also I don't want that to be like the main focus of this, but I'm happy to talk about it a bit more if that's what people are interested in. My priorities have just shifted completely. I also don't drink alcohol anymore. It's an important thing to talk about. I think we need to normalize it a bit more that people don't drink, because I think in this society it's very normalized to drink. You have to tell people, you have to make them aware. Maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but I think a lot of people make that assumption. Just a bit weird for not drinking. Again, that's where I am right now. I'm happy to talk about it more if that's what you guys are interested. This move is also going to be moving more towards what I feel like I want my life to look like. Just being a bit more at peace with myself and having time to like focus on my mental health as well, my well-being, not feel as isolated. Even though it's interesting to think about, I might have like friends around and I have people, have a network here, but it's obviously not my family. It just feels like there's this piece that's just missing. Interesting to think about people feeling like they need to have it all figured out by their 30s. It shouldn't be normalised, and it shouldn't be an expectation that people have on other people, that you need to know what a whole life to look like. You need to know whether you want to have children. You need to know whether you want to buy a house, you want to get married by 30. I wonder if like other people feel like that as well. I'd like to hope that there is a whole bunch of other people that can relate to what I'm talking about, but it would be good to hear from you guys, and just let me know if that resonates with you, and let me know if there's any other stuff that you're interested in that I've maybe mentioned that you want me to talk about more. Really appreciate if you would subscribe, like this video, and comment your thoughts and your feelings. Are you coming up to 30, or are you in like your mid-20s, or even are you 18 and maybe feeling like how I described I felt when I was 18? Let me know if you're also feeling like you want to just hit the reset button. Look forward to seeing you in my next video.